Hey hun, what's going on?
Cable's out. It's been out for about 2 hours.
No!
Check the bass line out. Jiggle.
Bounce with it.
Yeah.
Let it bump though.
We're back again. This is for episode 5 at Team Mom, of course. And I gotta make a correction to episode 4. Last week the cable went out, as you saw at the beginning of the video. And because of that, I had to watch it on the computer monitor, and of course the screen was about 1/4 of the size of the actual monitor itself. But the thing about it is I had to make a correction because I thought Butch got rid of that nasty mullet, and apparently he didn't. It was just in this really greasy, nasty, looked like it was dunked in like some leftover grease after making fried chicken type rat tail thing. And I just wish that somebody would cut that thing off like in the middle of him sleeping. It's so nasty. First off, Tyler and Caitlin finally move on, which is good. But we've dealt with this now for 3 episodes, so it's good that they've taken care of business and moved on. And, well, because of that, since it's the same thing, I'm just going to move on too. Macy, once again, does a phenomenal job. I'm really beginning to think that the only reason that she's on the show to begin with is to show Farrah how to be a good parent. And Amber basically how to communicate without having to run your mouth and actually being tactful and mature about things. Speaking of which, if you saw the episode, you noticed that Amber ended up getting in an argument. Completely unnecessary, honestly. It was a really simple miscommunication as to basically some rooming situations for when they get married and when they're in Florida. And basically she takes it the wrong way to the point that she ends up going home because basically, and it's so ridiculous. She might as well have been having an argument with herself because it's like nobody really said anything to her. She just kept running her mouth and getting more and more mad for no reason. And then she ended up walking home, which is ridiculous. You know, I mean, I was almost expecting like an Eric Cartman, screw you guys, I'm giving him. But, you know, obviously we didn't get that because that would have been awesome. But anyway, she goes home, and of course her and Gary end up pushing each other's buttons, and Gary ends up leaving for the night, which I think was a really smart decision on his part. But, you know, whatever. They worked it out, or maybe, who knows. I'm sure next week they'll get in an argument again. But Gary, he did show up as the Easter Bunny this week, and at first I was like, I didn't know Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny were the same guy, and I was like, oh, wait, that's Gary in an Easter Bunny outfit. Speaking of which, because he was in that outfit, I actually wrote a series of jokes, and basically, here they go. First one. Hey, is that the bunny outfit from House of a Thousand Corpses? Wow, I can't believe it. Tide actually got those blood stains out? That's crazy. Number 2. Man, I didn't know the Easter Bunny was that size. How does the candy get to all the kids without being eaten? Number 3. I don't even think Tim Burton can make a Easter Bunny that scary. And then number 4. Wow, the evil white rabbit from Search for the Holy Grail by Monty Python. He sure did put on some weight. Moving on from here, though, let's go ahead and skip forward to Farrah, which it seemed like every time she was on camera this time, was just having an awful time. It was just like one problem after another. It was completely ridiculous. I mean, it's like in Farrah's world, she still doesn't even know how to fill out a check right, which is just ridiculous. You know, come on. And speaking of which, if you know, she ended up getting scammed out of about, well, $3,000 this week by trying to sell her car on Craigslist, which, newsflash, if you're ever going to sell a car, don't do it on Craigslist, okay? Take out a personal ad, or even if you do it on Craigslist, for crying out loud, have enough common sense that if somebody's going to say that they need you to ship the car to them, that obviously they're probably full of crap, because anybody who's going to buy a car is going to buy it from the area that they're from, more than likely, and they're going to drive out there to see the car, test drive it, and actually pick the thing up and pay for it and go home. And then on top of that, I think somebody's got to give Farrah some lessons on how banking and checks work. Because, I mean, if she had enough brains, it's like she would know that, you know, she probably should have waited for that check to clear. Not to mention that it looked about as phony baloney as can be when it came in on a piece of printer paper. You know, I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. You know, well, more importantly, here's probably the most important part of this. if Farrah wasn't such a selfish idiot and pushed people out of her lives, and she even kind of pointed this out herself, you know, it's like, I don't think this would have happened. You know, because I'm surely, I would think that one of her parents, you know, probably her dad, he seems like a decent enough, nice guy, would have had enough sense to say, Farrah, I don't know that this is a good idea. Not to mention that her reason for wanting to sell her cars to get a new car so that she had automatic power locks. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Who sells a car off to get a new car for that? That's just insane. It's like, you know what? Just deal with it. For crying out loud. But the thing about it is that the way she finds out is that she ends up playing MacGyver after getting her car detailed because she forgot diapers, of course. And basically she just gets some shop towels and just, you know, rigs it together to make a diaper out of it. Well, she ends up calling her bank to make sure that all the checks cleared and all that before she goes getting her car detailed and fixed and all that. Well, the thing about it is that, you know, of course they end up telling her that, yeah, the check got returned, that you need to look into this. Well, of course she finds out there's nothing she can do, which she gets mad, which I would be ticked off too if I found out that some idiot tried to pull that number on me. But then again, I think I might have noticed a few of the signs previously to lead me to know that, okay, this guy's probably going to try to screw me over. Thing of it is that she gets mad enough that she goes to the bathroom and leaves Sophia sitting on the bed in the bedroom. Well, she walks in there and, you know, she's all ticked off, and of course Sophia ends up falling off the bed and ends up knocking her head. And a lot of people were taking there like, well, why wouldn't the cameraman or the producers do anything? Well, one, they legally can't. And two, I don't even think they were in the room. If you watch the camera angle and the people, as they swing that camera around, everybody's standing over there by the bathroom. Luckily, Sophia's perfectly fine, which is good. Thank goodness, thank God. You know, that's just a good thing. But the thing about it is that, you know, Farrah as a parent, it's like if you get mad, you can't just stop being a parent all of a sudden. Like, can you imagine if police officers started doing that? There'd be lawsuits at the wazoo. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, that's pretty much my breakdown of what's happened this week and my commentary on it. So, we'll be back next week, and hopefully the cable doesn't go out again. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next week. See ya.
Check the bass line out. Jiggle. Bounce with it.
Let it bump though.